Good day, everybody. Today we are going to have a sort of a classroom video on ick. The full form of ick is Ichthyophthirius multifilus. Well, it's a really tough name, and I don't actually remember that. We, Fishkeepers, as a whole, like to call it with this short name, ick. This is a disgusting disease, as you might all know, and recently I had a tank, this tank, which was infected with ick. Now it is cured, but still, while making that video, I told to my viewers that I would be showcasing one particular episode or one particular video on how this particular disease spreads. Now, among all the types of fish diseases, one of the most contagious and one of the most easily spread diseases is this ick. Now, there are three segments of life of this particular pathogen. It's actually a protozoa that actually feeds off the skins and gills and fins of the fish. Now, initially, when you would be able to detect that suppose this is your fish, that suppose you have realized that this fish is infected with ick, is that you would find that tiny white spots like granules of salt or sand on top of generally fins, eyes, gills, and subsequently throughout the whole body of the fish. This is actually one stage of life of that particular pathogen we call as trophons. Now this trophon is actually a stage where you cannot actually treat ick. You cannot treat it with meds, as because that particular infection or that particular organism uses a tough shell around its body, so any med or any substance would actually fail to get through that. Okay, now for how long will it feed off the fish actually depends on the temperature. The higher the temperature, the faster that it will complete its life cycle. The lower the temperature, the more time it will take. Anyway, after this stage, it will actually gradually fall off the fish, and this trophons will actually turn into tomons, and this tomons will actually form capsules and will attach itself to gravels, plants, woods, decor, etc., etc. Fine. These tomons will actually inside that capsule replicate into thousands and thousands of therons or tomites. These can be compared with mites. You know mites in dogs or cats, stuff like that. And when this particular capsule will burst, they will be free flowing in the water column, infecting new fish. At this particular time, they are most vulnerable to meds or heat treatment or salt. So when somebody is saying that treat your tank with ick, he is actually saying to stop newer infections. You cannot treat ick, as I've said, while it is in this stage. You can treat ick while it is in free-flowing tomon stage. Some people say that ick is actually ever, ick, they say that ick is always there inside your tank. This is not true. Ick is a pathogen that is only and only introduced into a closed environment, and an aquarium is a closed environment, by the introduction of a new fish or a plant or decor which has already been infected by these tomons, and you don't know it, you don't actually put that particular fish or plant through a quarantine process. That stupidity was repeated by me, and those pathogens actually get a chance to infect your healthy tank. Anyway, this particular disgusting disease is treatable. I treated it with actually heat treatment. 30 degrees centigrade plus temperature for 10 days, and voila, it was gone. I added or but while using these stuff, you have to be careful if you have plants like me. Salt, aquarium salt, also an option. Anyway, but as we all know, the old saying, prevention is better than cure. So I would advise my fellow fish keepers to be really careful while purchasing new fish and while introducing new fish without proper treatment or proper quarantine. So it's always advisable to quarantine your fish or plants or shrimp or snails or decor or any substance before adding to a healthy system. I hope this video was informative enough and helpful enough. Thanks. Have a nice day.